Performance SUVs are some of the top selling cars across the UK in the last 5 years, and we love them here. So what are some of the best ones you can buy? Now there's so many out there and there's just far too much time to put into a video of this, but I've picked some of the top 5 ones from all the magazines and the reviewers and condensed it down into an easy video for yourselves as the viewer. I hope you enjoy this video because I picked out some really good ones. I've excluded high value ones over 100k, so the Bentayga and the DBX to the Urus definitely will not be included in this, as cool cars as they are. Hope you enjoyed the video. The first car on this list definitely needs an introduction, but it's still a cool car, and that is the Cupra Formentor. Now, specifically a Cupra, not a Seat. This car will never be known as a Seat, even though it is derived from the Cupra brand, which is part of Seat in some ways. It's like what AMG is to Mercedes, except AMG decided to start making their own cars. This is what Cupra have done. And the Formentor deserves a place on this list because it's actually probably one of the cheapest ones that you can buy from the sports utility vehicles, even though it does look like an estate or small sports car. And it's kind of weird because it's actually almost a family car with a lot of power. Well, I say a lot of power, really. This car comes with max for 306 horsepower, and the lowest you can get is 150 from a 1.5. Well, so there's a big range there of cars you can pick from that small looking engine. Now, what's interesting about the Seat Formante, or what should probably be obvious, is that it's a car that is created with parts from the Volkswagen Group, because obviously Seat are owned by Volkswagen. Now, the car before it was Seat Born, and this is another popular Cupra that's going really well right now, and the interiors look great, the build quality is great, and these cars are just starting to really glow up in their electric way. And what's great about this is it's just a rare car. It's not many of them, but you might start seeing them across the UK more. Prices are starting from £42,000 new, or you could find one for a bit cheaper with about £30,000 for about 10,000 miles. The next car needs absolutely no introduction because it's the Tesla Model Y. The Tesla Model Y is Tesla's latest vehicle to come to the UK, and it's a deviation of almost the Tesla Model X and the standard Tesla Model P. And with this, it is almost like a little hatchback, but it's classed as an SUV again. And it's actually a very, very popular car in the UK right now, but more so than the Cupra Formentor. And that's because Tesla are obviously booming, everyone knows why, and it's a great electric car to buy, and I'd love to own one myself. However, this is the Tesla Model Y, which is made to be the most reasonable sort of middle range car after the Model 3. Now, this price range will come in at 54 to 64, which I'll talk about in a minute, being fairly expensive. But because with this, you get a reliable range, easy to use onboard tech, which we all have seen. It's pretty much a big screen in there and some good charging networks. But with the Tesla Model Y, it does look a little bit awkward in my opinion. It doesn't sit as well. I prefer the Model 3 and then the Model X over the Model Y. But it is cool to see a new model which is sort of catering for the standard price. And it looks great in red, I must say. If I have to pick, red is a beautiful colour for this car. And well, there's not much to say about Tesla. It's obviously electric. There's no engine. It's all battery. But they're just a bit too expensive in my opinion. If you want to buy a used one with about 3,000 miles, you're looking at about 65 grand. But you could still get the Tesla Model 3 and have a great experience. Next up, we have a German, and this is the Audi RSQ3. Now, this is, again, a car that's been praised by the car reviews from CarWow to Auto Trader to Which Car, everything that you can think of. The RSQ3 is essentially a sports SUV from the ground up with Audi parts from the RS4, the RS6. It's really taken a lot of inspiration from its previous predecessors and cousins and brothers, and it is a great car. It's a car if you want to be on a school run. Now, specifically, I'm not talking about the RSQ8. That is well over 100k mark, and it's just too big, in my opinion, for a sports utility vehicle. As great as it is, this car, the RSQ3, will just be as super fast, if not quicker, because it's smaller, but might not have the engine power. The RSQ3 is a distinctive 5-cylinder petrol engine with just the same interior. It's lower, lighter, and it's obviously got RS3 sort of vibes with it. Prices for these usually looking at about just under 50k. Similarly, we have another German, and it is the Porsche Macan. This is completely different from the Porsche Cayenne, despite having, obviously, similar parts. Now, the Cayenne can be well over 100k at times, and I do love that car, but I thought I would use the Macan as a great example for a sports utility vehicle. And this is a high-performance one, nevertheless, even though it's cheaper. I think it's going to be appealing to the majority of people who might want a Porsche. I have to say, in the low-spec versions, it does not look as nice as the GTSs and the super nice V6s that they make. But it is unique exterior to the Porsche Macan and was built very, very specifically. I think the interior has a bit too many buttons, but that's just personal opinion. It does come with a lovely 2 litre to 3 litre engine, and I think some of these are built by Volkswagen. So, as we know, Porsche again are owned by Volkswagen, so there's a lot of parts there. But the Macan has different versions, and it sells really well. With it shares also the same platform as the Audi Q5, would you believe? So, yeah, it's a great car, and I do like these. They've done a very good job with them, and they actually do feel quite sporty. They're probably just as sporty as maybe a 911, but you can carry the family, and that's what's great about these cars. I found one with 80,000 miles for 25 grand, which is super good value. I've saved the best to last for this one, and it is my favourite one by far, and it's the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. I picked this one because it's just not picked enough by a lot of people, and you don't see it on the roads at all. The Alfa Romeo Stelvio is the best one by far because I think it looks beautiful, it's stunning, and it's an Alfa Romeo. And it doesn't have that reliability issue that they used to once have. I think it's a lot better build quality than ever before, and that's because Alfa really stepped up their game. Now, with the Alfa Romeo, it was released back in 2017, and it was fairly successful, but it still wasn't as successful as the new ones that are coming out today. With the facelifted one they've also made coming for next year. I think what's great about this is it's well equipped and the interior looks excellent. It's really different from the majority of cars, and you're not paying through the roof necessarily for this car compared to you might with a Porsche, especially at used. You're getting a lot of 4C and 8C sort of interior and engineering put into it, especially with the same wheels. Stelvio is named after a very special road in Switzerland, and I think it says a lot about the car. It's also a really great handling car. Top Gear have claimed that it's a really now lovely to drive and refined car, but there's no compromises. With these, they're going to cost around £30,000 used, which I think is really good for 10,000 miles. Honourable mentions definitely have to go to the Jaguar F-Pace because that is a really stunning SUV in its own right. And because there's so many, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Do check out Auto Traders and CarWow, Top Gear, all the reviews. There's so many great SUVs. Hope you enjoyed the video.